I love it so much.
I know.
Okay, did you ever see the Hell's Kitchen where he's? I think Gordon Ramsay said something like, "This is a shit sandwich," and took 2 pieces of bread and put it over somebody's head. It was hysterical. I loved it.
And if you follow him on TikTok, it's even funnier. He is so funny. Oh.
Okay, we're back.
We think we're back. We don't really know. Are we back?
I think we're back.
I'm
watching us right now.
Okay, good. All right, we're back. Here we are, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Okay, so should we call Chef Andy now?
Let's call Chef Andy. Chef Andy's here. I have been waiting for this.
Time.
Yes, she has to be on a flight to Utah.
Ooh, what is she doing in Utah?
She is working. So now she's working for Cisco. She's really busy. She's had 2 little ones since Hell's Kitchen. So she has a lot going on.
I wonder if she cooks for her kids or she's like, at the end of the day, she's like, I'm not cooking dinner. We're picking up like Wendy's. Right? Because if like you cook all day, why would you want to do that?
I'm sure she does a lot of cooking.
I don't know.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? There she is.
Thank you so much for joining us. And sorry for our technical issues. We like cut out and now we're back.
No worries at all. I'm probably cutting out a little bit because I have 2 yelling children in the background.
That makes me feel so much better about my life because my children ignore me until I get on the phone or I have to do like an important conference call and then they need everything.
Oh yeah, and why is it the fact like I can't go to the bathroom by myself? Like Bryce, my husband, can go to the bathroom, he can shower by himself, do everything by himself. I have both kids and the dog.
Okay, me too.
In there.
Okay, this morning I had both children and all 3 of my dogs in like my powder room.
Yeah, and like in our master, we have like it's not whatever it's called now. It's like the main,
right?
Our main room.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to be politically correct. We just have like one of those little closet toilets. Oh gosh, they're all in there.
Yes. Oh,
so how old are your kiddos now?
Wait, no. Well, first, for people who don't know you, who you are, but I mean, obviously, I think a majority of people know who you are. But for our viewers that don't know who you are, tell us who you are, what you do, and why you are so amazing.
Oh gosh, I don't know about the amazing part, but I'm Andy Van Willigen, now cut spec. I am a chef. I used to work for Gordon Ramsay for about 9 years. I ran his U.S., Hong Kong, and Canadian projects, as well as all of his TV shows. So Hell's Kitchen I was on from season 6 through 17 as his female sous chef. And then, or 6 through 17, sorry. And then I did Kitchen Nightmares, Hotel Hell, MasterChef Juniors. And while we were doing all that, we were doing QVC and Jimmy Kimmel Live, and it was crazy. And so now, still a chef. I recently just left Ocean Reef Country Club, which was like its own huge city in Key Largo, Florida. And I ran about 19 restaurants out there. Now I'm currently overseeing part of the desert region for Cisco. So executive chef of Cisco Las Vegas. We oversee Arizona, Las Vegas, and Utah. So
you are a busy lady.
Like a career, like an incredible career. For someone so young, I mean, you have like knocked it out of the park.
I don't remember it. It went by so fast. No, it's funny because, I'll rattle that off and you don't really think about it until you kind of write it down on paper and then you're like, oh shit, I've kind of done a lot.
You've done a lot.
I mean, you really were. And when you started, when you were at the sous chef, like even on Hell's Kitchen, you were really young.
Yeah, I was in my 20s. Before that, before Gordon, I was with Michael Mina for about 5.5 years, and I was the longest title ever, his executive corporate sous chef. So I opened restaurants for him like around the U.S.
Incredible. And opening a restaurant, I'm in the restaurant business. I own like 16 franchises of a restaurant. So I know how but we're family owned.
We get lots of free soup.
Jamie gets free
and
everything.
Baguettes.
Yes, free everything. But opening a restaurant is tough. And it's very time consuming and it's 24 hours because something always is going to go wrong, right? How do you manage all of that plus your kids and family?
I think honestly, I did it in my early years. Early years, like I'm so
You're
old.
so
but,
old.
You are not old.
I'm 41 now, but I did it in my 20s and in my early 30s. So I knew traveling 275 days out of the year I couldn't do with a husband and two
Right.
kids. So you know, I kind of look. I was 22. I was working for Michael Mina. I wanted to be a sous chef because I was working on the line. And I went up to the chef of the restaurant and said, I want to apply for the sous chef position. He said, a woman will never be a sous chef in my kitchen.
What?
So I thought to myself, well, and Michael wasn't like that at all, but this kid was. So I thought to myself, well, I either got to move up or get the F out of this industry because I don't want to be, no offense, I just didn't want to be 30, like sweating my butt off on the line. Like I knew there had to be something more.
Right.
So, I mean, the corporate stuff kept on coming around. And I was like, listen, like, I have a degree in business. Like, I can talk numbers. Like, I want to open restaurants. I want to do this. I want to do this, bugging the crap out of him. And then finally he was like, I'll take you to Vegas, and just threw me in to open up this restaurant called Strip Steak. And I really didn't have a clue what I was doing. He was like, here's OS&E and organize. I'm like, what's OS&E? You know, like looking it up. But, you know, I helped cost out the menu. I helped train the staff. I helped do all that kind of stuff. And then I was really ballsy and just went up to Michael Mina and said, I'm not going back to that restaurant. So you got to decide what you're going to do with me.
Wow.
And he was like, and he like looked at the guy that oversaw me, Anthony Karen, and he was like, okay, well, looks like you got a partner now. So then, you know, then I started just opening restaurants constantly with him. And you know, yeah, it's you work 16, 18-hour days. You live in the hotel, right. But you get to travel and see the world and do all that kind of stuff. And I forgot the first question you even asked.
Well, no, but I mean, being in restaurants is kind of addicting. Once you start opening them and you see their success, it's so exciting to like open another one. It's just an adrenaline rush all the time. And then when you're not doing the 18-hour days, you're like, what am I going to do? Like,
I know. Yeah. You go out to like these crazy restaurants that you can just get deals at. I mean, it was a high, like, especially when I started working for Gordon, it was a high just when like, and I know this is kind of like high school because it's also like when you're like a really good player in a sport, you know, like you walk into the restaurant and everyone's like, oh shit, he's here, you know. But now it's like, you don't have that at all. You're like cleaning up shit.
I know. I'm like taking out the trash. Like, who needs help? I'll wipe down all the tables.
Yeah.
Well, but how cool is it to be able to plan your own menu for these big high-end restaurants? Like working in Vegas has to be like the epitome of like all of these things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's fun. Like that's part of it. Like just building a concept and then putting a menu together. And I mean, it's fun. I mean, going from china, glass, silver, you know, uniforms, everything, you know, and like it's almost, you guys are like part of a family. You've built this whole thing and you launch it. Right. And, you know, it's great.
Okay, so how was it to work for Gordon Ramsay? Because Jamie and I were obsessed with Hell Kitchen and a whole bunch of other shows, obviously, you did. But he is scary. Is he really like that?
Listen, he can be very scary.
Right?
No, the thing is, he was always very, very good to me. He helped me out a lot. I mean, I've had a lot of back issues, obviously, just being a chef, but he's always been very, very good to me. There was times where, you know, he never really yelled at me directly, but he would yell at my people around me. And as far as like my staff, and so I knew I was in trouble. You know, there was some times where it's tough, but I mean, he never called me a donkey or anything. Let's just say that we had a very good mutual respect for each other. Because you know, I was like his right hand in the U.S.
Yes.
There's not a lot of people. All his whole setup is in London. So you know, we relied on each
Jamie
other.
always wants to ask your risotto question and your scallop question, Jamie.
Oh, so you know, Dana Cohen was on the show a couple of weeks ago. So you remember Dana from the show.
Yeah,
do you see her now at Cisco? Do you ever cross paths?
No, does she work for Cisco?
She works for Cisco. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know.
You have to like LinkedIn her and be like, girl, let's
send
connect.
her a message.
No, I mean, I follow her on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, but I don't know. I'm like, God, she bothers me. No, just because I'm like, how do you find the time to work out?
I know, right?
I know. Yeah.
Like, she's so fit. I'm like, I'm jealous.
She is.
Have a kid or two.
And she's obviously not eating what she's making.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's working for Cisco now. Like she's doing good. She was she called us. We talked to her. She was in Jersey, so she's like still quarantined and all that stuff. But we were talking to Dana. So on Hell's Kitchen,
Every season,
no matter what show, no matter what happens,
right?
Scallops and risotto are like a failure.
No one can do it.
No one can do it. It's like you go through culinary school, you do all this stuff, and the Gordon's like scallops, and you're just like, I give up.
Right?
No, I don't know why. I mean, it's easy. We even make it easier for them because we slice the scallops in half.
Right? Like, but he screams all the time.
We even make it easier because we par cook the risotto. Like,
what? And no one can get it.
Yeah.
It all falls apart.
Yeah.
Now
you don't understand. Like, there was I mean, to take a little bit of the magic away, there's, they're high. Everybody comes on with the casting director, right? So we have some great people, some horrible people.
You got to have the horrible people to make it interesting.
Yeah. Some people have never worked a line before. I remember one season. I don't know what season it was. None of the girls had ever worked a line. And Gordon, like, he likes to see, like, who's rising up, like, he gets, like, into the show. Like, he's like, okay, great. Like, it's Christina or it's Donna or whatever. Like, okay, like, I can see this person being great. Comes to me and he's like, what the fuck are you doing all day? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, can I cuss?
We can say anything we want on
it's fucking fine. Don't worry about
it. Okay. He's like, what the fuck are you doing all day? I'm like, I'm training these bitches. Like, you don't understand. Like, Gordon, I'm like, none of them ever worked in a professional kitchen. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I don't know what the fuck this lady did. Like, I was like, watch. And he looks back and watches the tape. I had them all line up. I'm like, get on the line. All of them on the line. Get your pan. Put the pan. Turn on the fire. I'm like, season the scallop. Put it in the pan. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Flip it. Flip it. Flip it. And I'm like, and then I'm like, you walk through the door and all of them fucking lose it. Right. Like, it's stupid.
It is the craziest. And I love, like, so one of the episodes, like, you're in the front, like, and you're doing, and and there's like this plate of whatever, and you just look at Gordon and you're like, do you like this shit? Like, do you like this? And he's just like, and then the whole thing starts, but you just point to it and you're like, no. Like, you just don't even need to say anything. You're just like, you like this shit? And he was like, what? And I was like, there's Andy. I mean,
so
because a lot of it, we would have to. I mean, I'd have to be the first one to taste it.
Yeah.
And then I push it through, and then so I would like be like, hey, this is fucking horrible. Like,
and even in the first episodes, like even like the first when you have all the 16 chefs or whatever, man, do you ever look at them and you're like, these people have to be idiots? Like, you're like,
and who would sign up if you can't like cook, or like if you've never been online? Who is signing up for that pain of like?
I don't know. Yeah,
right?
They're stupid. Some of them are really, really bad. Like, really like idiots. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like you have to be like, and you are like this classically trained chef. Like, you have all these amazing experience. Like, you have to be like, is this girl kidding me? Like, what the hell?
I would have started screaming. Okay, and where did you have to sleep? Because they said the contestants, they had to like sleep like on the set
in the dorms.
Yeah, no, we go home.
Oh well, that's way better.
Yeah. So they build the whole entire set. I mean, there's lighting, camera crew, rigging, blah blah blah, and then there's this, there's the stage with the kitchens, the two kitchens, and there's the back of the house that the kids never see, or the contestants never see, and then they have their dorms up there as well. They can probably hear stuff at night, like, because there's security and all that stuff. But
what was your worst like kitchen nightmare, or like the worst thing that's ever happened to you, like at a restaurant or on a show?
Oh God. Well, I mean, some kitchen nightmares that you see some bad stuff sometimes. Like when we were in New Orleans, no offense at all whatsoever, but they have like down in the French Quarter, they have this alley right behind all of the restaurants.
Oh, the rats.
It's called Trash Alley, but it's Rat Alley. Oh. So we went into one restaurant that wanted to combine two side by side, right? So they knocked down the wall, and we were filming, and so I had part of my guys over in one side, like at an oyster bar thing, and then we were gonna film over on the hotline area. So I'm like, don't go on camera. Like, you can't go through the restaurant. You got to go through this alley. I've never heard him scream so loud. He was like, they're huge. I'm running over them.
Absolutely not. No,
I
thank
loved
you.
Kitchen Nightmares
I
was
love
also
Kitchen
so
Nightmares.
great because you got to see like the lengthy experience. You know what I mean? Like you
Mm-hmm.
were following around the restaurant and you were pulling for them. But it's amazing how many different types of people are in restaurants, right? Like you have these people that are grandfathered into like their family has owned these restaurants for so long.
Right.
And then like they get in and they're like drinking all the alcohol and they're like, I don't understand what's going on with
Or
this business.
there's like year-old
know, right?
raw chicken in their like refrigerator.
Gordon Ramsay, he's like, there's all
You're
this.
gonna kill people. Love that shit.
Oh my! I got kicked out like quite a few times.
Really?
We were, Kitchen Nightmares, and they don't show a lot of us on Kitchen Nightmares at all. But one time, this guy. Okay, so we went into this restaurant, and it was like a pub, like you know. And so I was like, okay, well, we're gonna. And I've already made the menu. You know, like we're in a parking lot in the middle. Like we're in a kitchen truck in the middle of a parking lot, like prepping all their food, like in fucking middle of Boston, freezing by the water. It sucks. You know, and then these guys are assholes. So we go and I'm like, okay, we're going to do like a pub. We're going to do some wings. We're going to do this. And he's like, I'm not serving wings. And this is the chef, like not the owner at all. And I was like, okay, well, you know, not your decision. Let's move forward. And he goes, I'm not serving wings unless you put on a pair of orange shorts.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
I cannot even imagine what you did. You were probably like, flip shit.
I would have.
the whole camera crew was like, what? And I got over the counter and they're like, Andy, no. And I was like, what'd you say to me, motherfucker? Like,
I could totally see this.
I love it. Okay, what is your favorite thing to cook? Like, what's your
God, this
go-to?
is like, people always ask this, and it's really hard. I mean, I don't.
And
know.
do you
Like,
cook for your kids? So we were talking
I
about
do.
that. Do
We
you
were talking
like
about
at
that.
night? Are you like, okay, I can't cook anymore? Like you two, I don't know what's happening, but hot dogs are in.
Oh no! Well, this is the thing. My son only eats cold hot dogs.
Oh, that's rough. Right?
He eats cold hot dogs, Uncrustables.
Oh, sure.
Like he loves, Lunchables, stuff like that. So I mean, I don't even make anything for him. I'm just like, here, you can now. Like now, he can open the fridge and he just points to like a Velveeta slice. I'm like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Like,
No, like
But my daughter still is pretty good. So like last night, like Bryce made smoked a tri-tip, and I made like smashed potatoes
I love
and
smashed
the
potatoes.
salad and stuff like that. He likes to grill a lot, so I say I've taught him everything he knows. So
Okay, I think you should do two things. Well, first of all, we have some questions coming in. Jen Corby wants to know if you've ever been asked to try out for Top Chef.
yes, like 4 or 5 times.
Why don't you do it?
The first time I was pregnant with Lincoln.
Okay.
The second time I was breastfeeding, and they weren't doing that. And the third and fourth time, to be honest with you, I've worked in TV shows and I know the back part of it.
Right.
And although Top Chef is much different, they're very much about the chef winning, and so is Hell's Kitchen. But I don't want to be labeled the bitch that her daddy died and she's crying.
Right.
They try to. I know the producers.
Yeah,
and
they want the story.
They need characters and this and that. And to be honest with you, I'm very competitive with myself, and like I would be competitive against James on Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that because I want my
Yeah, right.
But like for me to go into a competition and someone just judge the food, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to be
I'm
on Iron Chef. I love that
I
show.
could do that.
Like, secret ingredient is fried wonton. Or,
Yeah.
you love that show. You would be so amazing. I would watch it.
I would do it. I would definitely do Iron Chef.
Because that's really
that's
good.
different.
Like, those are
Yeah.
real chefs, like, doing their own thing.
So where did you go to culinary school?
Yeah.
Where did you go to school? Like, where did you grow up? Where were you?
I grew up in a town called Upland, California. It's in the IE of like LA area. I went to culinary school at Pasadena, or the Lee Cordon Bleu that's shut down now.
Aw.
But when I went, like you had to be accepted.
Right.
Like you had to like write in a letter, all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I'm aging myself, but now it's like you have 2 pinkies, and they're like, yeah, come in.
You're like, hey, I like Uncrustables, and they're like, cool, culinary,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right, sounds good to me.
Yeah. And then I went to the University of Laverne, which is a private college. I played volleyball, so I got a scholarship playing volleyball. And then I kind of went to I finished my college at San Marcos.
Wow.
And yeah, I got a degree in business. And my dad was like, before you go to culinary school, you have to get a college
But that's
degree.
so smart, right?
And
So smart.
Yeah. Now looking back, yeah. But before I was like, no. But yeah, that had helped me out in my career 110 times better than not having it.
Okay, so. I have a very strange question.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So I have alpha gal. I got bit by a tick, so I'm allergic to mammal products, like mammal meat.
Okay.
And there's always this ongoing debate between me and my husband. He grew up on a cattle ranch, right? And obviously I can't eat that. How do you feel about meatless meat?
I'm okay with it. So
Thank you.
I've been forced to have to use it.
Right.
Before I was like, absolutely not. This is disgusting. But there's so many people out there now that need it or would like it or want it. So when I was at the country club, I basically had every single restaurant. We had 2 or 3 items on there. I've just come off of a concept that's probably going to launch soon. It's secret, but it's, a fast food kind of concept with it. That's completely plant-based.
Interesting.
And then, there's a lot, like you have to have those what ifs now,
Right.
on your menu. There's a lot of great products out there that don't have a lot of chemicals in it. Like I've used this oat protein that's actually really cool.
Interesting.
It looks like shredded beef almost, but it's, doesn't have, stuff you can't read. So that's the only thing that scares me because sometimes I look at the the label and I'm like, shit, is my tongue gonna fall off?
Am I going to have
something like
cancer
that.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only thing where I'm like, I'd rather find the brands that only have 4 or 5 ingredients
Yes.
that are more organic than just these crazy chemicals.
Well, if you're looking for a franchisee partner for this new concept, hit me up, lady. I'm always interested.
Kelly's investing. I'm like, I'm not. I'm struggling to keep my small business alive. I'm not investing in anything. Nothing.
I'm always interested in a new concept. I mean, we do Panera,
yes.
and that's been around for a long time. But I'm always interested in new, cool concepts.
Yeah.
And,
So do you think that's the trend moving forward? Do you think you're seeing, you think plant-based is going to continue? Do you think gluten-free? Are you seeing that?
don't say gluten-free. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I think plant-based is definitely going to
I do
continue because I think it's not only helps out vegans, but it also helps out people that want to be healthy
Yes.
and all that kind of stuff. So I think it'll definitely continue and just get more mainstream.
Yeah.
I think so. And I actually like Beyond Meat burgers. I think they're the closest thing I've ever had to a burger that's not a burger.
Beyond is probably my
Me too.
favorite. But Impossible, I do like the way that it kind of cooks up,
Interesting.
differently. Like for example, I don't feel like Beyond you can cook in marinara sauce.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I feel like Impossible you can make I've made bolognese before. I've made meatballs and like they can sit in marinara sauce forever and it doesn't break
I'm
down,
going to try that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
So when you finally left, what did Gordon say when you were parting ways? Did he cry? Was he like,
can't
no
imagine.
way, you cannot go?
no, I think it was time, I was getting married and he didn't go to the wedding.
Oh, why? You should have made him cook at your wedding, cater your wedding.
Listen, he sent Jennifer as his assistant. It was fine.
Oh, okay. And who cares if he came or not, as long as he sent a very nice, expensive gift.
No, he did a very nice gift, so we're good. But no, I think it was just time. I mean, it was a lull where there was no more shows, there wasn't any more openings.
Right.
It was kind of like this lull, and it was just ready to, be done. Gave me a big hug. I mean, he loved that I married Bryce because Bryce was his head of security.
Oh, really?
Is that how you guys met?
That is so funny.
Yeah, that's how we met. I was like, who's this new security guy?
I love that. So obviously, what does your husband do now? Not that it's important, but we just want to know.
So he works for a company called 209 Group, and they they're like the middleman. They sell like all those digital walls. And have you seen Mandalorian?
Yeah. Ooh.
He's the one that like develops those systems to make those movies. So
Wow.
Two very talented people.
I mean, amazing. So we know you got to go. We know you're traveling to Utah. So tell us. So
no, it's okay. I got some time.
are you sure? So
because this interview is the funnest.
I know, it's the best. So what do you think? What would you say to women that are trying to get into this industry? What would you give them as a word of advice, or maybe some pitfalls and challenges they should look for? Because I'm sure you've been through a lot.
Restaurants are kind of a guy's world.
It is kind of a guy's world. I agree.
Yeah, and I've never really. I've always respected all the people that I've worked for very much.
Right.
So I've never come out and said all the stuff that probably has, happened. But I would say, you need to definitely work hard, know when to speak up, and also do speak up. If you want something, you need to say something, because in this industry, if you don't say anything, they'll keep you as a line cook or this or that the rest of your life, because that's, they don't have to pay you more.
Right.
I think, work hard, always show the boys that you can work just as hard as they can. Usually now men love women in the kitchen because we're, sorry guys, more organized and,
and kind of more
all that
creative
kind of stuff. Yeah. And there's, now you have to manage so differently. Like women have a lot better balance with managing. So yeah, I mean, I just think, put your head down when you're young and work hard and, strive. I always push. I set goals, I was like, by the time I'm 30, I need to make this much money. By the time I'm this, I want to make this much money, and it's not necessarily always money driven, but that was kind of a thing for me.
You work hard so you can make more money, right?
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I worked my butt off, so now I can kind of pick and choose what I want to do, you know?
Are you ever going to do your own concept or open your own restaurant that's just yours?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, you've seen so many of Kitchen Nightmares.
Right? Yes.
I think it's just, it has to be the perfect combination of investors and this and that, I think. At one point, Gordon and I were going to open up our own restaurant. And I'll be honest, at the last minute, he brought in these investors that I did not feel comfortable with. Mm-hmm. Needless to say, long story short, I walked out. I got fired. I told him that he was a bad guy. They found out. Not him, not Gordon, the person investor that he was invested with. They found out he was a bad guy. They asked me back. I had to shut down the restaurant. And
in your face.
That guy had to go to jail for embezzling money. So,
do you basically saved Gordon Ramsay like billions?
And do you know the same thing happened to me? I used to work at a car dealership for like 100 years, and I had worked there for 15 years. And we brought on this new general manager, and he said something to me that was like not appropriate, and I was like, "All right, no, dude, I don't know. You've worked here for one day. I've been here for 15 years. This is not how it's going to go down." And I said to my boss, I said, "This guy is bad news. I'm telling you right now, this guy is like a no-go, like out." And he was like, "No, he's going to make us a lot of money." And I was like, and then 2 months later, he was like in jail, like stole 15 cars, embezzled all this money. And I was like, and now I want to raise, throw it out there.
No, that was the same thing. I was like, I don't feel comfortable working with this guy. And Gordon's like, "Fuck you, leave. You're not going to be on the shows anymore. This and this and that." I was like driving home from Vegas bawling, right? And then like his agent called me and said, "Okay, well, you'll still be on the shows, but it's going to be very, very awkward." And believe me, it was fucking awkward because Gordon didn't want to talk to me.
Right.
He was like, "You got to swim with the sharks sometimes." He didn't want to talk to me at all. So I'm like plating up dishes, looking at him. He just like doesn't look at me. Finally, he started inviting me back into the dressing room to like talk about like, okay, this is what we're going to do next scene or whatever. And then they figured out he was a horrible guy. And I was like, the day that like I had to sit back down with Gordon's CEO, who was horrible, by the way, Stuart Gillies. I'll just put that out there right now.
We don't like him either then.
He doesn't even work for the company, but he hated strong women. The day that he had to sit me back down and ask me to come back, I was like, yes. Yeah. I was like in my convertible, like listening to like rap music so loud. I was like, fuck yes.
Yes.
Like,
yes. Yeah. In your face. I was right. You were wrong. Yeah. Beg me to come back. I want the beg.
Yeah. So Are there any other chefs out there that you are watching that you would like to work with? Like, is there anyone on your radar that you're like, you know what? This person is doing some cool stuff.
Oh gosh. It was for a long time Emerald, but then when I worked for that country club, he was a member there and I got to work with him. So that was
you're like, I'm done with you, Emerald. Like, I thought you were cool, but you're not that cool. So I'm pretty much done.
No, he's really cool. But I worked with him, so I was like, okay. No, he was awesome because I really liked the fact that he like was, besides Julia Child, he was like the first one that started like television.
Yes,
like
that is
Bam,
true.
all that kind of stuff.
Bam! I remember that.
Emerald. What about Guy Fieri or the Food Network? You could do so many things on the food. You could be a host on Nailed It. You know, where like the people like make stuff and then like fuck all the shit up, and you're like, nailed it. You're like, yeah, that would be me. I would be your contestant, and I'd be like, Andy, I made you this gorgeous Uncrustable.
Right.
I heated it up. It's a great,
perfect toast.
I'll cut it in half. I'll cut it 4 ways. This is my contribution to the show.
Yeah, Nailed It is funny.
You know that I had to get this. I had a concept come in the other day, and I had to deep fry Uncrustables for them.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, I like dipped them in pancake batter.
Okay, actually, that sounds delicious.
That's my restaurant. I would fry everything because I don't know how to cook anything else. So I'm like, yes, we fry our bread here.
You know, someone from Food Network I'd like to meet is. Oddly enough, is Gianna.
Yes. Ooh, yeah, but I heard, I don't know if this is true,
Love Gianna.
but I heard she is like not very nice.
No.
But you know, you can't believe everything.
The one thing that I really liked her about, so that bad guy that I told you about that ended up, so he went into her when she was opening her restaurant in Vegas, he went into her restaurant and was being like a complete douche, and she kicked him out.
I love that.
Oh, see?
Okay.
So I'm like, I want to meet this girl because she was like, get the fuck out of my restaurant.
Yes. Okay. What is your favorite fast food restaurant?
Ooh.
Oh gosh. In-N-Out.
Okay, In-N-Out.
Oh, yeah. So we don't have In-N-Outs on the East Coast.
I know you don't.
But
they won't franchise, believe me.
I do like a good In-N-Out. Every
Although, do you know
time
what?
I've been to Vegas, I've gone there. To like the one that's right by the Strip and all that stuff. I've been there like a million
A
times.
woman owns and runs In-N-Out. It was her family's, and now she took it over. I'm going to try to get her on the show.
She's saying that a woman owns it and took it over.
So In-N-Out is a family-owned restaurant.
Yeah.
And the daughter is now the CEO and runs the whole thing.
Oh, nice. And Del Taco.
I never had Del Taco.
Oh, Del Taco fries are the bomb.
Ooh, okay. Okay, what is your favorite regular restaurant? Like, if you were going out on a date night, what's like the place you want to go?
Right now is probably we go to like STK a lot because we know the chef there in Vegas.
There's so many good
Michael Mina
options.
Bellagio is always amazing. They have like old school like carts, you know, like they have the caviar cart and stuff like that.
I feel like they have to be like when you walk in, are they like, oh my God, she's here?
No, not anymore.
Really? Because I feel like you could like walk in and just be like, yeah, table for two.
Right.
No reservation, bitches. Okay? I started this shit and I'm just going to sit here.
Yeah.
Does that work?
You know, it was actually cool the other day. So I had two girlfriends from Florida come out for their birthday, and we went to the first restaurant I ever opened with Michael Mina was Strip Steak. And it was about to close, but we just went to the bar, and I was like, oh, like, you know, telling the bartender, I opened this restaurant. It was my first one, blah, blah, blah. It's like, there's only a couple people left from the crew. And he bought our drinks for us. I was like, oh, that's so nice.
That is so sweet.
Like, he charged me 1 cent. And I was like, that's cool.
That's so nice. Do you ever text
That's
Michael
a typical
Mina?
bartender move.
Do you ever text him and you're like, hey, Michael, sup, girlfriend? Just want to let you know.
I mean, I still talk to Michael quite a bit. Like, it's been probably a few months, but like I used to be in really good contact with him and his wife a lot because she has a Bloody Mary brand. Have you heard of it? It's called Diane's Bloody Marys. It's awesome.
I love Bloody Mary.
It's all like organic. She's created like her own heirloom tomato. It's pretty awesome. So
wow. Okay, we're gonna have to drink those today.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
it's really. I think she sells it at like I don't know. You have to look it up. Diane's Bloody Marys, but it's also I think it's at like Sur La Top and stuff like that.
Wow.
So.
Well, when we come visit Vegas, we're going to have to come see you, and we're going to have to take you for drinks and take you out for dinner so that we can talk to you about all the food.
which will be In-N-Out Burger and a 6-pack.
Right. Because that's what we can afford. We're going to take you to In-N-Out. We're going to take you to all the finest places.
Right.
Listen, my favorite food group is liquid cheese, so don't worry.
Yes, please. Well, you are amazing. This has been one of the
awesome.
funnest interviews we've ever done. So we appreciate it so much. And when we say we're coming out to Vegas, believe us, because we actually will come out.
Well, hit me up. I promise we'll go out.
That would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
Well, we love you so much. You are such a badass. We watched you for all these years on all these shows, and we loved you like behind the scenes. I used to watch you, and I would be hysterical. Like your mannerisms and like what you would do, like with these people. Like I was like, she's gonna freaking kill one of these people. Like, she's like, you are such a fucking idiot. I don't know what to do with myself.
With the Anton thing, I saw red. I don't remember.
Well, you are such an inspiration to all of us. We love you so much.
Yes.
Congratulations on the 2 kiddos. We love that you are like doing your own thing now and taking some time for you, because you had a really fast career.
Thank you guys.
You're awesome.
You guys are awesome. Very
Thank you so
inspirational.
much.
Thanks, Natasha.
All right, and we will see you for In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, that was literally one of the funnest interviews.
I love her. Yeah, she's great.
Hysterical.
She's you had to see, like, if you watch her in the background
I've
on
seen
her,
yes,
it is the funniest. Like, she just looks at Gordon and she's just like,
yeah, I know.
this is.
No, I loved her.
What a career. I mean,
Can you imagine? And that young, she like.
Can you imagine opening up restaurants for like Michael Mina and like opening up these
Gordon
amazing
Ramsay?
restaurants, Gordon Ramsay's restaurants in Vegas, like these huge, big, amazing
I've been to
restaurants.
some of those.
I know. I mean, can you imagine?
It was Vegas, and I was in my 20s, so I don't really remember what the food tastes like.
But
I was there.
I love Las Vegas so much.
I love Las Vegas.
I love Vegas. I don't really gamble.
What? What are you doing in Vegas?
I know. I'm not a big gambler. So when I go to Vegas, I go for a week and I spend
I cannot go for a week.
$20.
What?
And I set aside $20 and I play the $20, and when I'm done, I'm done. I literally could care less.
Okay, we could not go to Vegas together.
I love the shows. I love to see
the shows are cool.
Cirque du Soleil. I love to see all the different hotels. I love all the food. I love the pools. I love the pool party.
You can be at the pool party, and I will be at the blackjack table having cocktails.
I want to be at like the Martin Garrix pool party. Like, I want to be like at the chain smokers party. I want to be like on the side of the pool, dancing around at 10 a.m.
Once, when Adam and I were in our 20s for our 5-year wedding anniversary, all of our friends from college who were like in our wedding, we all went to Vegas for like 5 days.
Love Vegas.
The second night, Adam and I were on a hot streak. We never play at the same table. Because every time Adam and I are at the same table, we both lose.
You have like a thing.
We have a thing. So he sits at a different table, but we can see each other, right?
Okay.
He got on a hot streak. Then I started going on a hot streak. We literally sat. They had to switch dealers so many times because we could not lose.
Really?
Either of us.
Oh my God. You are very lucky. We have talked about this on the show before.
Like, no, I'm not kidding you. We sat at those tables at least for 12 hours.
Oh my
straight,
God.
Like straight 12 hours. And you had to save your seat, right? Because it's a lucky seat. We won enough in those 12 hours to pay for our entire trip.
That is crazy.
We won like $7,000.
Do you know how many times you could have seen the Chainsmokers in 12 hours?
Anyway.
When Ryan and I went to Vegas the last time, I forget why we were in Vegas. Oh, I think I was on a work trip. I think I was on a work trip and we were in Vegas. Anyway, so we tried to go see the Chainsmokers, and it was like they were going on, like the show started at like 11 or 12, let's say.
Right.
So we're waiting online. We get like all these tickets, and we're like there, and there's not that many people online, which was like odd. But we have the tickets and we like go in. And we're like
a knockoff band?
What's going on? Like, where are all the people? And they were like, we have these tickets. It says 11. They're like, no, honey. The doors open at 11:30, and the Chainsmokers come on at 4:30. And we were like, what? In the morning? Oh, no, not going to happen. I was like, do you think we can make it? What? We got 5 hours. Yeah, they came on at like 4:30 in the morning. No. And they throw these, so I guess what they do is they throw these massive parties, and everyone parties from like 4:30 in the morning to like 12 the next day. But Ryan and I missed the memo on that one. We thought it was like 11 o'clock, getting out of there by 1 o'clock, maybe take a little nap. Nope, we were not in the right place.
So did you not go?
We didn't go.
What?
I missed it. I was so sad because I love them, and I love all the like.
And you bought the tickets, and you were like, "Forget it, I can't stay up that late."
Yes, I would love to see Britney Spears.
Oh,
like
Britney
in
Spears
Vegas.
I don't think she has her show anymore.
I know she will. I mean, we know what happened. Right. That was the.
Okay, let's get to women in the news. You had some good things.
I do.
I want to talk about the Jenner.
Oh, yeah. Kylie Jenner is...
Foot in mouth.
Yeah, getting reamed all over social media. So huge backlash for Kylie Jenner. So she had
Poor
a
Kylie.
makeup artist that unfortunately was in a very bad car accident. And because he was in a bad car accident, she started a GoFundMe page. And
she is a billionaire. Why don't you just pay for the medical expenses?
So I guess it was that. So it's saying that the GoFundMe page was organized by his family after he went.
Oh, okay.
And then so she donated $5,000 and then asked everyone else for money. So everyone on social media was like, "Are you kidding me, Kylie Jenner? You are like the world's the youngest billionaire." Right. And you're donating $5,000 and asking all your fans for money. So everyone felt like that was not cool of her.
Well,
I mean, she has 900 billion. How much is it?
she's like, no, she's
Not
like
900 billion.
9 billion probably, ish. I don't
mean,
know.
Her makeup line is like
She's rich enough to pay.
She is rich enough to pay.
I just got a text message.
Yes.
Appomattox Walmart has a ton of slots today for the vaccine, and in Roanoke.
Where is Appomattox? Is
Not
that
far.
Northern Virginia?
Do you know where that is, Judah?
Kelly, I told you last week.
I got to start a company. I can find you a vaccine.
Going through the vaccine process with Kelly has opened my eyes to the many cities that there are in Virginia. South Boston, if you're watching, I don't know where you are, but I would maybe like to visit you because Kelly has done a lot of talking about South Boston. South Boston, and what's the other one? There's a second one that Kelly always wants to send me to. But I don't know where you are, but I'm going to visit. They probably have like a nice train ride through South Boston. I'm going to go visit all the vaccine hotspots that Kelly wants to send people to. Never does she find like, oh, it's in Charlottesville. It's right up the road. You have a CVS on the corner? Yeah, hop in there. Nope, we're going to South Boston, folks.
It's all the whatever.
And speaking of lucky, so like I got the vaccine, so I'm half vaccinated. So Kelly registers for the vaccine. She's like, "Yeah, I got the Johnson & Johnson one. I got one shot." I was like, "Of course you did, Kelly. The rest of the world needs to get 10 and boosters. You just got the one that was just like, oh, now you're cured and it's 24 hours. Oh, of course you did."
I am a very lucky person.
You are very lucky. Speaking of lucky, guess what is getting a revamp? Monopoly.
What? How do you redo Monopoly?
Monopoly it's going from Monopoly to Wokeopoly. So Hasbro is changing all these different elements to make it more socially conscious. So instead of going to jail, that's not going to be a thing anymore.
Is it you're going on vacation?
So it's
you can't change Monopoly. That's like changing checkers.
There's going to be
you can't do that.
Goodbye, second place in a beauty contest. Rah rah rah. That's going to be one of them. Thank you for shopping local. So if you shop local, that'll be like another. I hate Monopoly, but that's a thing.
Give me a break. Give me a break. Let's change chess.
Yes, 85 years ago, they invented Monopoly, and they are changing it. They want it to be more positive. So that's happening.
All you do is go around and buy property. I don't understand what's wrong with that.
But they don't.
Am I wrong? Listen, put in the comments if I'm wrong on this.
They don't want you to go to jail.
But that is a part of life.
They don't want you to go to jail anymore.
Listen, if you don't like that Monopoly, there are 50 other themed monopolies that you could purchase. Like there is Disney Monopoly, there is Super Mario Brothers Monopoly, which I have. There is Monopoly Junior. If you don't like it, pick one of the other 50.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of Monopoly. It takes too long.
It does take too long.
It's stupid.
Let's change the rules of Connect Four because it's not very fair if some people win and some people lose. So if you connect anything, you are an automatic winner.
That sounds like
it's like everybody gets a trophy crap. I am sick of that. Not everybody gets a trophy. If you lose, you lose.
So there's another funny thing that they have up
Judo,
here. So
am I wrong?
So
do you agree?
For the go to jail, they might be leaving it, but it says, you posted an offensive tweet, go to jail.
Is that true?
Yes. March against free speech. I think they're going to probably do so there's a thing that says, relax, get stoned.
What? Okay, we can't say go to jail, but our children can play Monopoly, and if they land on relax, get high.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's legal, right? That's going to be legal. So funny tweets about this. So Dustin Whitehair says, Democrats still want to get out of jail free card. Funny. Tammy Wright 1962 says, so all the properties are going to be the same price, and will the government help us out if we can't pay our rent? Just wondering. Fair. That's a good.
Can you refinance your home?
You can. And there's probably a stimulus, a little stimmy in there. Get you a stimmy. You landed on your stimmy.
You have to skip a term because you are quarantined for the next 3 years.
Quarantined. Yeah, you lose.
Skip. Your turn.
That's awesome. That would be great. Have you seen the new Netflix documentary about Blockbuster?
Jamie.
Have you watched it?
Of course I watched it.
Kelly watches everything. And
no,
then
this is how much I've watched on Netflix.
Okay, wait. Did you like this Blockbuster thing?
I loved I grew up like Friday after school, it was like a race to get to Blockbuster.
So the documentary is basically about what happened to Blockbuster, right? The fall of it.
Right. Remember Hollywood Video?
I do. Yeah. Yes. And remember when you used to go and so I was telling Kelly this the other day that, remember Be Kind, Please Rewind?
Yes.
You had to rewind your VHS tapes when you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know how they police that, but whatever.
I was so mad when I would get one and it wasn't rewound.
My parents got this little machine that would rewind the videos.
That's extreme.
And I thought that was the cool. I guess we used to watch a lot of videos.
Yeah, but then you had to make the decision. Do you want the new release that you could only keep for one night? Mm-hmm. Or do you want like the older new releases that you could keep for 2?
Yeah. And so Kelly and I were talking this. I think a really good idea for Blockbuster would have been to take their stores and open up like small movie theaters, kind of like the Violet Crown. How it's
Did we already talk about this on the show?
We were talking about this in real life.
Oh, okay. This is not.
Because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we just had this whole conversation. But
it was like,
so wouldn't it be cool if they had like sort of like a movie theater and it had all different kinds of rooms, so it was a Blockbuster theater and you could rent any movie you wanted. It was like a Netflix of movie theaters.
But now people are I don't think that concept would work because now people have invested and put movie theaters in their own homes.
Right, I know. With COVID, it's kind of like weird because
but you still don't get like the delicious popcorn and the Alamo pizzas and the fried pickles.
Wouldn't it be fun to do a girls' night and go watch like The Breakfast Club and like dress up in 80s?
I mean, you can rent the Alamo theater for $150 and then you have to spend $150 on food and you also have to buy the tickets because the $150 did not cover the price of the tickets. I'm like, what?
Yes, someone was telling me that the other day that they were like complaining because they were like, we thought we rented the theater but it doesn't come with tickets. So you rent the theater, you bring your whole family, you're like, wait a second, where's the movie? They're like, nope, you didn't buy that. And you're like, you just sit in an empty room, in a COVID empty room with your popcorn. I bought an airline ticket. No, you bought a seat on an airplane, but you did not buy the ticket to get onto the airplane. Yeah. I'd be like, what? Yeah, we didn't know you wanted to go anywhere. We just thought you wanted like to have the seat in case you wanted to go. You're like, it doesn't fly anywhere? No, this plane doesn't move.
No. Okay, did you see that cruise ships are opening up, but you have to be fully vaccinated?
Yes.
And I think airplanes are probably going to go that way.
I think it's going to be tied to our driver's license. You know that driver's license that you have to get?
But what happens if you lose your card?
We were talking about that too. If you lose, I think there's probably
who's calling you and not watching the show.
I have no idea. I think it's a telemarketer. Please stop calling me 276.
You need to re-up your car.
So cruises are starting. So my aunt and I were talking about this because my aunt works for a company that supplies ice cream to all the cruise ships all over the world.
Cool.
So they're going to start doing cruises in July, but they're not going to be out of like the United States. They're not sailing like from, Florida.
No, they're going to the Caribbean.
They're sailing from the islands. So like from the Bahamas, but they're not leaving from Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
So in order to go on a cruise,
you got to fly
to the island because I think that the islands haven't had like a huge, like a COVID, like it hasn't been.
Because there's not enough people on these islands. There's like 4,000 people
The cruises are going to start from the islands, which is really weird.
Okay, how are they going to do, I guess buffets are no more.
Buffets are probably not. No.
Right?
Yeah. But if everyone's vaccinated,
I don't think so.
I don't think they could probably health regulations. I wonder if buffets are a thing of the past.
Okay, and I also want to know, where were all of the cruise ships? Because you couldn't dock all of these. So like, were these cruise ships like outside of ports? Like,
Yes.
did they have a staff?
Yes.
So, like, what was the staff doing? Like, partying in the club?
Yes.
Like, just with themselves?
Yes, partying in the club, eating and drinking. So all the cooks are cooking for each other. They're cleaning the ship. They're just on the ship, and a lot of them couldn't go back to their own countries. So
where were they?
They were stuck on their cruise ships for months and months.
That sounds
and months
fun.
And months.
Because then you can't get COVID because...
Well, cruise ships are really great because I actually wanted and applied for a job on a cruise ship. I wanted to be like the entertainment director because I was like, hey, if anyone could throw a party on the Lido deck, it is me.
That is true.
Right? I could throw a
Could
killer.
we be a team?
Yes, and I could lead bingo. I could do like water polo or whatever you do. But when you work on a cruise ship, you get free room and board, obviously.
My aunt worked on a cruise ship.
Free meals, blah, blah. And the crazy part is because...
But the living quarters are bad.
Well, right. But if the cruise ship is outside, like they're not in American waters technically, so you don't pay taxes. So all the money that you make on the cruise ship is tax-free. So a lot of people like come to this country, like that's how they do, and they ship all the money home because it's free. What do they need money
but
for?
like I think you work like insanely long hours.
Yeah.
And you're like in awful,
But
like
you travel
living
all over the world. You can get off the cruise ship, so there's like a crew day. Like you can go, you can travel, you can see all the stuff.
Okay.
I mean, my uncle used to work on a cruise ship when he came from Italy, and he had some fun.
I think they just party.
Yeah, yeah.
I know. Okay, who do we have on next week? Because we got to wrap this up. Because I literally have frostbite.
But what do you mean? Oh, it's freezing here. I don't know. Next week we're gonna have a good show.
I'm excited about next week.
I know.
I really like Chef Dandy.
Chef Andy was amazing, and I love her experience with like Gordon Ramsay. And
I
all
know.
that
She
stuff.
she was truthful. She was not holding back. I loved that. She was like, this stuff sucked.
Yes. We're gonna post. I'll post a link to all of our new episodes.
Don't we have the correctional officer?
We do have. She's not until April.
Oh.
I think Ellen Marsh is next week. Ellen Marsh.
Tell me about Ellen Marsh.
If you do not know Ellen Marsh, she is literally the best. She is a Broadway actress.
She is funny.
She has been Kinky Boots. She has been in all kinds of stuff. She also has this amazing podcast that I am obsessed with called The Disappeared Pod. And so they basically, disappeared on ID.
Right.
Her and her best friend Patrick Hines recap the episode, and it is the best. So like Ellen busts out into songs sometimes, and she's like, "Ah!" just like me. So we're gonna be best friends. She's gonna love me so much. Like she's like, "Hi."
You can take my place.
She busts out into song. I love her so much. Patrick and her have been best friends for 20 years, and they do this show. I
love it.
It is awesome, and they recap these episodes. And you know what? I just watched her, and I texted her the other day. They just did their last episode on Morgan Harrington, and they recapped.
Jamie
and
thought,
yes,
since I literally watch everything on Hulu, Netflix, now I'm onto Peacock because I've run out of things to watch on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Okay, let's start a podcast where I tell you about every show and what happens. So then you don't have to watch it.
Oh my God. So Kelly told you last week, what is it called? The disappearance at the
Cecil Hotel.
The Cecil Hotel. Okay. If you guys follow me on Facebook, like personally, the disappearance at the Cecil Hotel is one of the scariest things you will ever watch.
It wasn't that scary.
It was terrifying.
No, last week she chilled me to watch what documentary?
Oh, the Jesse documentary.
Okay.
Remember that one?
I give it minus 1,000 stars. It literally was the most boring, pointless, road to nowhere documentary. I literally was like, my brain was half
I was like,
dead.
Kelly, don't you think this is interesting? This person walked out the door and disappeared. And she goes, I want to give it -5 stars. I hated it so much.
I hated it so much. I was like, Jamie, watch this Cecil Hotel one. And so I was like, this is what a real, scary documentary is.
It was terrifying.
We gotta wrap it up.
It is a true story. Oh my God. It is terrifying. If you're
was
into
awesome.
true crime.
Do not watch Jamie. Only listen to my review.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Jamie suggests awful things.
I would like to suggest Dirty Dancing because that is one of my, and I tried to watch it last night, but it was $3.99 to rent and I cheaped out and I don't have a DVD player anymore, so I couldn't watch it. But those are my suggestions. Dirty Dancing, The Breakfast Club.
Well, I'll have to post my reviews because we didn't have time. We got to wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and share the show. Follow us on Instagram,
Follow us on
Facebook,
Facebook.
Twitter. We're going to start broadcasting our shows, recaps of our shows on Instagram.
Insta, yeah. Check out our website, womenchangingourworld.com.
All of our past episodes are on there.
All of our past episodes. Yeah, follow us on Instagram. Hit us up. Say hey.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. Have an awesome week, guys.
And then
See you next Monday.
Yeah, we'll see you for Ellen Marsh.
Love it.
It's gonna be great.
Bye.
Ciao.
I loved
That show
Chef
flew
Andy.
by. I loved Andy so
I know.
much.
And I love that she was like, I don't have to go.